Hello, friends, and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host, Tom Downey, and it's time for my mailbag. Love this segment. I know you guys enjoy it as well. So let's get started. First up, from Film Productions on YouTube, a longtime watcher asks if the Cowboys should use more 2 halfback sets, line Zeke up out wide, and Rod Smith at running back. I'm not opposed to the idea necessarily, but if you're putting Rod Smith on the field, that means you're taking a wide receiver off of it. And from that perspective, I still think I'd rather have Cole Beasley, Allen Hurns, Michael Gallup, Deontay Thompson, or Tavon Austin instead. I think that those guys bring you more in the passing game. I'm fine to split Zeke out wide. We saw how effective it was against Lions, especially on that fade route. But I don't think that Rod Smith is the guy that you want on the field in lieu of one of those receivers. Now, if it's in lieu of one of the tight ends, okay, we can have that discussion. All right, Cameron also asking about Rod Smith here. How about 8 to 10 carries a game for Rod? If you run the ball 35, 40, 45 times a game, sure. But I do still think you want to have Zeke reaching around his maximum. If the game's out of hand, then yes, go put in Rod Smith. But I don't think you should, even though you do want to manage Zeke and you don't want to overwork him too much, I don't think you should take Zeke off the field if you don't have to. Rod Smith is a nice player, a quality player. He's not a guy that you need to scheme for and ensure that he gets some touches. Tavon Austin is that type of guy. Think about it this way. Tavon's an athlete. Rod Smith is a halfback. I would rather be more creative with Tavon's touches than with Rod Smith. Even though I like him, he's a good back. I want him on the team. I just don't think he needs that amount of work. All right, folks, I still have some Cowboys t-shirts and hats to give away, so here's how you can get one of your own. DM me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney. DMs are open right now. If you want the details, we'll get you hooked up with one of our sponsors, and then we'll get you that t-shirt and hat. And then once we get to 20, we'll give away Cowboys tickets to one lucky winner as well. So again, DM me on Twitter if you want those details. All right, Film Production says, as we always see on YouTube here, not always from you, why don't the Cowboys use Rico more in the passing game? I think it's unnatural to see Swaim catching passes. It is kind of weird because we were so used to Witten, but I think Swaim's actually been a pretty good player. He's not Jason Witten. He's not elite, but he's good enough. As for Rico, he's not the best tight end on this roster. I think he brings you the most upside in the passing game, but if you put Rico on the field, that's a pretty clear indication to teams of, hey, it's a pass play. That's what we're doing unless you have 3 tight ends. Now, I can be convinced into maybe Rico over Jarwin in some situations, but Rico still needs work in terms of learning the offense, knowing the nuances of football, which is way harder than I think we've ever given him credit for, and also the blocking as well. So you're not quite elite in all the phases, and as Jason Garrett kind of hinted at in a recent press conference, you want to get him reps, but you can't get him reps in scenarios where a mistake would ruin your drive or ruin the game for you. So he got more reps this week. I think we'll see more of him. He's not the best tight end on the field yet. I do want him in obvious passing downs on the field, yes, just not so much on the 2nd and 4 play action. I think that's just too obvious. But 3rd and longs, sure, send him out there. All right, Robert Marsh wants to know if I consider Byron Jones a #1 cornerback and is he on his way to becoming elite with his play so far. Look, you guys know I was clamoring for Byron Jones to go to cornerback. I wanted it for over a year now. He should have been playing there his entire time. I did not think he was going to be this good, though. Byron Jones, from the first 4 games, there's an argument he's been the best corner in the entire NFL. I don't think he is the best corner, but that's how he's played. You want to know how teams value Byron Jones and how they fear him? They're not even throwing at him. They're picking on Chidobia, who's been fine, even though he's had some tough breaks. They're picking on Anthony Brown. They are not even looking in Byron Jones' direction. At this point, Byron Jones is a #1 cornerback. You allow 7 catches for 51 yards through 4 games, and you've played every snap, almost every snap, you're a stud. He is a #1 cornerback, and I love it. All right, Juan wants to know if the Cowboys will sign Dez Bryant after his tweet. As we discussed on yesterday's Cowboys Report, I don't think it's all that likely. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Again, here's the tweet from Dez Bryant. I think you can make Dez work with this Cowboys team, and there's clear interest on his part, which makes it a 1-star for me. I just don't think the Cowboys want it. I'm saying there's a chance, but there's not much of a chance. The team isn't apparently considering the possibility. And again, look, when you break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, there's a reason you typically don't get back together, especially when it ends in a messy, messy way. So I think you do want a Dez Bryant type. I wouldn't be upset if the Cowboys did bring him back, but I don't think you're going to see that go down. So I'm sorry, Dez fans. I just don't see it happening right now, especially not with this current coaching staff in charge. Folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. What that means is put down $100. They'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI. You are playing with house money if you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120. All right, Gibbs asks, why aren't the Cowboys using Brice? Him and Dak already have chemistry. I actually saw several comments both on YouTube and Twitter. Gibbs was first here, so I went with his. Look, a couple reasons why here. One, he was active in Week 4, didn't play. That did kind of surprise me. He does provide you with a big play, deep threat, which you always need if you're on an NFL team. Other potential issues here, though, mainly, I think still getting acclimated. There are some new things. Also, guys, Butler's just not that good. Like, I know he'll make some flash plays. He also has some drops in his history, and that's pretty consistent. He's not a number 2. He's not a number 3. He is a number 4, number 5 receiver. He's just not that good. Now, I would play him over T. Will. I would cut Thompson because I want that 4th-round comp pick, and then I'd play Brice Butler in that case. But he's not a guy that you go, oh, we got to get Butler on the field. I don't think that's the scenario that we are right now for the Cowboys. All right, Tim on Twitter says, if we're more of a physical team for running the ball, how come we don't add receiver screens? Now, you've seen a couple, as I responded to you, Tim, in terms of Tavon Austin, but I wouldn't mind some more screens. I think that getting that misdirection, the motion going in other ways, works well against defenses. So I'd like to see more. Also from Tim, is there another safety that we can bring in to replace Jeff Heath or Kevon Frazier? I mean, there are some guys in free agency. We'll take a look at some of the top 5 guys. Mike Mitchell, I think, is pretty much washed up at this point in his NFL career. There's TJ Ward, who I know is washed up. There's Quentin Demps, who I kind of like. I wouldn't mind adding him. Darius Butler's old. Tylen Branch coming off his own injury. You should have signed Kenny Vaccaro. You messed up not doing that. You're kind of stuck with them. Now, maybe you can go make a trade, which I don't think is all that likely, but frankly, I know that not everyone likes Jeff Heath, and he's very much an average football player. He's better than all those guys. Kevon Frazier, if you keep him in the box, is a good player. So I wouldn't mind a safety. I wouldn't mind Demps, but you're not going to sign someone at this point in the year to come be your starter. Depth, sure. Starter, nah. All right, folks, we're trying to get to 5K subscribers on our Cowboys Report YouTube channel. So go to youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys Report. All of our great Cowboys coverage, plus some bonus stuff, is all in one spot there. Trying to get to 5K. Already past the 3K mark. 5K, though, is the next one up. All right, Darius with more of a statement than a question. Trade Sean Lee for a safety. I love Sean Lee. I am surprised as to how quickly we've all turned on Sean Lee, right? Like, we're so quick to say, oh, okay, we're done with him. I don't want him anymore. I know he's banged up. I know he makes a lot of money. When healthy, Sean Lee is one of the 3 best off-the-ball linebackers in the NFL. It's Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, and Sean Lee. No one makes more plays for their teams than those 3 linebackers. So you're not, and with him banged up in the high salary, you're not going to get proper value back in a trade. You're just not going to. So I say you keep Sean Lee because when he's on the field, he makes your defense better, and he's better than any player I think you would get in a trade. So I'm typing in K. I don't think you want to trade Sean Lee. All right, Shep on Twitter says, over or under, Irving stays healthy, which, okay, we'll see, and gets 7 sacks by the end of the regular season. If he plays in every game and is healthy and is in his 2017 David Irving, 7 sacks is doable. He was great last year, but there's always something. There's always a but with David Irving. Oh, he was great last year, but he was suspended. Oh, he was great after he came back, but he got hurt. Oh, he is in shape now, but he wasn't in the offseason. Oh, he's got all these other issues. So there's always a but with David Irving, and that's, I think, an issue for the Cowboys. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But as for you guys, let me know what you think. Over under 7 sacks for David Irving. I hope so. That'd be great. It means the Cowboys defense is clicking on all cylinders. I'll take the under, though. If you can give me 5 sacks from Irving, I'll be a happy camper. All right, back to Irving. Sam Anu, I think has a Twitter only for me. At least I choose to believe that. Says, Dak and Irving, could they sign team-friendly deals at the end of the season? We'll start off with David Irving here. And the Cowboys, they don't seem to trust David Irving. And I think there's a good reason for that because there's, again, as I just said, there's always the but. I would not be surprised. In fact, I expect it. At the end of the year, the Cowboys and David Irving say, you know what? David, you might be able to get more money elsewhere. If it is, it's going to be a one-year prove-it deal. We're not going to bank on you being a long-term part of our future. Maybe we should just go our separate ways. I would not be surprised if that's what happens for Irving and the Cowboys. As for Dak and the Cowboys have indeed a lot of money down the road to pay Dak Prescott, and he is eligible for an extension coming up. And the Cowboys are committed to him, at least publicly. But here's the thing, and I think you guys will agree with this. Is giving Dak Prescott $25 million a year a good idea? I don't think so. Now, maybe Dak proves me wrong down the stretch, but I think there's a real argument to be made that maybe it's better to not invest a lot of money in a quarterback and build your roster around the rest of the team and find a game manager like Dak is right now, and he's cheap. But I don't think you should pay Alex Smith a bunch of money. I don't know if Dak is the same guy either, so I'm not convinced on this one. Of course, we do have the rest of the year to find out if Dak really is the Cowboys franchise quarterback. All right, folks, if you want your own awesome Mizzen and Main shirt, get one today. Comfortable.af is the website, and trust me, these shirts are indeed comfortable as F. They're made right here in America. They are the most comfortable shirt, be it a dress shirt or just a normal T-shirt that you will ever own. That's comfortable.af. All right, one more here for the Cowboys mailbag. With the return of Irving, will that help free up DeMarcus Lawrence even more? I think so. Tank is so good because there's somebody else that can help him too. It's not triple team and double team nonstop. Now, if that's David Irving, oh man. Just imagine your nickel set, okay? Tyron Crawford, DeMarcus Lawrence, David Irving, and Gregory. Maybe even Taco on the inside too if you want that. That's a good front four. That's a front four that should harass opposing quarterbacks each and every single game. That's a fantastic idea for the Cowboys. Hopefully David Irving does indeed help unlock the full potential there of DeMarcus Lawrence, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see you guys coming up tomorrow for our next Cowboys Report.